And we're off and underway under the lights on Friday night. Manchester City looking to make a statement at home after last week's narrow defeat. Brighton aiming to spoil that party and prove once again they can challenge the league's heavyweights. As City come on the attack straight away. And an easy catch for the new Brighton goalkeeper Ndozi. Bene already making an impact here. The new signing for City.
And I like the area she picks up. Casper Rye, we know she loves to get forward. A little bit of indecision for me in that Brighton back line. I think Bene would have been better served maybe hitting that first time.
As Manchester City continue to put on the pressure. Casper Rye into Shaw. Miedemar with a good tapping, just can't quite control it, but we know that the danger she is in the box. WSL all-time leading goal scorer. She can pounce at any moment.
Yeah, well, it's absolutely brilliant from Shaw down the right-hand side. Casper Rye, that little underlapping run, just holds it up. Just that ball, it's in an area waiting for someone to attack, and Miedemar does well. It's just actually a good defending. It's in the end just thwarts that attack, but it's a very, very positive start for Manchester City.
Well, 3 of Vivienne Miedemar's goals have been winners against Brighton. Here is Madison Haley for the Seagulls. Hemp. Greenwoods looks to the pass of Casper Rye.
Interesting, isn't it? We were debating before the game where Alex Greenwood was going to start against Chelsea. Started out on the left, and it was Gracie Pryor in the more central role. For me, it didn't work. They got overrun down that right-hand side, especially Ellie Carpenter had a great game. Whereas now you see conducting, a lot of experience in Wahhabi and Greenwood with the two, and it just lets Gracie Pryor get on that little bit higher and maybe have a little bit less to think about.
Casper Rye. An interesting change as well for City tonight is between the sticks. Chiara Keating there replaces Yamashita, who is on the bench, so it's believed she is fit. So,
and it's, you know, something we did see, obviously, albeit under a different manager in Gareth Taylor last season, but the switching of the goalkeepers, for me, I personally don't like it. Potentially upsets the team, especially the defence, but it's something that they're dealing with at the moment.
Oh, you can see Brighton pressing high up, pressing Chiara Keating in goal. As Wahhabi on that left-hand side, Lauren Hemp. As Miedemar chases on. And up goes the offside flag.
High up, aren't they? Both Miedemar and Bunny Shaw, wanting the high press, win the ball back early, and then it's just about being more clinical with the opportunities that they create compared to match day 1.
They pressed high against Chelsea in the first few moments of that game, and we know, well, last year anyway, Brighton liked to play out from the back.
They made quite a few mistakes, actually. One of the highest in the league in terms of mistakes from that back line leading to shots, so it's something City will be aware of, and actually did really well against Chelsea in that sense early on in the game. Chelsea were unlikely sloppy as well, not something that we used to with them, but it was, as I mentioned, the fact that City weren't clinical enough.
Hasegawa. Kilda Brown being pressured off the ball there. And now here is Frank Kirby.
Interesting, this Man City back line. So now you've got Gracie Pryor, centre-back, with Harvey out on the left. Now is that just trying to get back because they've been out of position? Or is that the way it's originally going to set up and they're just being really fluid? It's definitely one to keep an eye on.
for the Slagers. Michelle Adjeman with her first touches of the game. Not on the score sheet yet this campaign, but we saw the threat she could be in the Euros this summer. Returning to Brighton on loan from Arsenal. And now that, of course, Nikita Paris is with London City Lionesses, it gives her a chance to impress in a Brighton shirt more. Slip of pass from Kiara Keating there, and Brighton will have the first strike of the game, although over the bar from Jelena Cankovic.
Yeah, and it's, you know, we've seen this from City, whether it be Keaton or Yamashita, they do take those chances. And they've done well, Brighton, to pounce on that. But going back to Adjeman, it's interesting because, you know, she came on, made such a fantastic impact for the Lionesses, but now it's different. There's more expectation, for one, on her season, and two, it's a different way of playing. When you're in from the start, you've got to make a different type of impact. You know, our forwards, the Lionesses, in the summer, they did a great job. Very similar when you remember the first time round, Ellen White running the defence as ragged, and then Alessia Russo coming on and taking that opportunity, and it's exactly what Michelle Adjeman did as well. And starting, obviously, from minute one, it's a little bit different, so it's how you cope with that different type of pressure.
Kirby. Here is Madison Haley, doing well to keep control of possession here. And Greenwood with strength to push Kirby off. You can see little moments of Brighton. They're pouncing on mistakes that City are making.
And it's, you know, similar style of play in terms of playing out from the back. You know, we've mentioned it for both sides. They can both be loose with the ball, and especially when you mentioned you've got the pace of Adjeman, the experience of Frank Kirby. They are going to win those balls back. It's just about being clinical when they get there.
Kasparai.
Right, and you just see Max Rayner coming right across there as Michelle Adjeman goes to press, cutting off the link in between the centre halves. It's working really well.
Greenwood shaking her head there, frustrated with letting that mistime ball maybe. And Brighton will have the first corner of this game. The first set piece for the Seagulls. Swinging into the box. It's headed out by Alex Greenwood. Still a chance for Brighton here.
She does well in the end, doesn't she? Grace Pryor to get out to that. But architects of their own downfall there. A little bit Man City, they'll be frustrated. It was another good fast start the first 2 or 3 minutes. Good header that was, by the way, from the spectator in the crowd.
It's the new Manchester City boss, Andre Jeglerts, former Denmark head coach for 2 years. He says he plays free-flowing, attacking football. And I guess that is exactly what Manchester City will want to be doing this season. Missed out on a Champions League spot last year. But the aim is to push up for that again, maybe push for the title. Of course, the question is, can anyone knock Chelsea off their perch?
For me, for Man City now, they've not got enough depth. Good 11, good 12, 13. But actually that depth you need to go and compete, to go and win it, I don't think they've got quite yet. The positive they've got is no European football, in the sense that they can really focus on the league, on the domestic cup. So definitely Champions League qualification has to be the aim, but for me, they're still short of winning the WSL.
Depth on bench is what they struggled with last year, plagued by injuries in their squad as Brighton win possession back. Option to Adjiman on her left. She does choose. It's a nice dink in. Madison Haley was waiting for it in the middle. All the way back with Minami. Rule.
City went quicker to that. The ball back wasn't great. One, it's a backwards ball, so you should always creep anyway, even if it's accurate, but it wasn't an accurate ball back and just seemed to be on their heels.
Well, a new signing for Brighton, Moeka Minami, 26 years old. She won back-to-back Serie A titles in 2024. And she's in Brighton's back line. Hasegawa. Keating being pressured in that goal. Well, just over 10 minutes in, those teams feeling each other out in these first 10 minutes, but Brighton have done well. But here is Manchester City and Viviana Miedema. And Dozy does well. The new Brighton goalkeeper gets down low, and she looks like she's picked up a slight injury in the process.
I think you see here Miedema doesn't quite get the first touch that she wants. The ball gets caught underneath her. Fantastically weighted ball into her. I think she's maybe trying to be a little bit clever, and I think you see there, actually it's the studs making contact with the ankle of the goalkeeper. Just there, she almost steps on her because she doesn't get the touch right. And you think Miedema, that type of opportunity, it's got to be in the back of the net. Yes, granted, it's early on in the season, and I always found as a striker, you know, it maybe took 2 or 3 games to get your rhythm, but still, player of her quality, you're expecting Man City to be 1-0 up.
Well, and Dozy is a new keeper for Brighton. She kept a clean sheet in their last game against Aston Villa. It was a 0-0. But her debut in a clean sheet brings a lot of confidence to Brighton as they are on the attack here. It's a lovely through ball from Kirby to find Adjiman. Goes for the shot. Kirby. And just like that, it was coming. Brighton with all the attack, all the pressure on Manchester City. And City are punished. And it's Frank Kirby back on the score sheet. Manchester City 0, Brighton 1.
Well, it's brilliant work. Frank Kirby actually starts it there. Good ball to Adjiman. You may be expecting this to go in, to be honest, the form that we saw at the Euros. It doesn't, but Brighton do well. They keep it alive. Love the way that Frank Kirby then, she keeps going because she's on the left-hand side of the box almost at this point, so she keeps her run going, picking up the bits and bobs in the second phase. Really good finish, just really quick, touch and swivel, across the goalkeeper into the side netting. Brilliant goal.
Well, it almost came out of nothing. Michelle Adjiman with a strike as well, and Kirby with the rebound. Exactly the position she needs to be in. And Frank Kirby opens her account for this campaign. Didn't make the Euro squad. Serena Wiegman was not going to take her. But she still got goals in her. As City look for a response here with Miedema. And out for a goal kick for Ndozi to take.
It's a real good illustration of football and the fine margins and taking your chances. Anja Miedema at the other end should have scored, in my opinion. 30 seconds later, Frank Kirby's putting Brighton ahead, and it shows now the progression of the WSL, that the gaps are getting smaller and smaller. And you've got to take your opportunities when you're handed them.
Well, Brighton have never beaten Manchester City. As they come again, Hemp does really well to get away from her marker. Here is Miedemar. Just wide.
By Manchester City. This is more of a difficult opportunity, but this is what we love to see, isn't it? Lauren Hemp in full flow, running at players, committing defenders. And then the cutback, the awareness. Yes, there's a defender coming out, but again, player of that quality in Miedemar, you're at least wanting her to hit the target.
Unmarked there in the 6-yard box too, Vivianne Miedemar. She knows where she needs to be. A lot of experience in this league. Kirby can't quite turn past Kasparai. Here is Blinkilda Brown. This cued time from Greenwood.
That's Gracie Bryan taking one for the team, taking one for her captain there. Sure what Greenwood's thinking at this point. Is it just trying to that flick pass over to Pryor? Definitely doesn't get it right, whatever she's thinking, and Pryor then has to make a challenge that she's drawn into.
Well, I'm not sure what Oleslagers was thinking there, whether that was meant to be a cross or a shot maybe, but it goes well over the bar. And Keating will look to play out from the back again with Greenwood. As City once again are on the back foot, looking for a response. Here is Benet. First start for City. Can't quite find the composure she needed there in front of goal.
She did the hard bit. Brilliant ball, by the way, again from Lauren Hemp. Benet here, yes, she gets pushed wide, but then when she cuts back in, the little touch, that's got to go back across the goalkeeper, hard and low. Try and find that left-hand corner. Just see completely scuffs the shot.
19 years old, Benet, new signing for Manchester City in the summer. Looking to add to that depth that they were lacking last year. Rayner. Hajiman lurking on that 6-yard box.
Does really well, Rayner. Thought she might lose out, but gets the better of Wahhabi in the end. Decent ball in. Can't quite get a toe to it, can she, Hajiman?
Oleslagers. Simons and Jankovic. Kirby. She had the ball in the back of the net in their last game. She's got one on the sheet here, and here is Michelle Hajiman. Simons. Rayner.
Thing for City in that passage of play. When Frank Kirby first picks up the ball there in the midfield, she is in acres of space. There is nobody near her. You cannot give Frank Kirby that amount of time, and it's, yes, she's intelligent, she's finding that space in behind the midfield, but still it's not good enough from City from a defensive point of view.
And we know what Frank Kirby can do.
From Hajiman as well, coming out, to the left-hand side, putting Kasparai under some pressure, and Haley as well. She's then recognising that situation. She's getting high and almost replacing that number 9 role. They're being really intelligent, Brighton. I'm enjoying watching them play.
They're an exciting team, up-and-coming team. They had a really good season last year. As Adjeman is fouled there by Kasparai. But they had their best ever WSL season. As Brighton want to play that foul early, it's brought back for a more controlled set piece.
And that's the foul there, Adjeman. She's really clever. Because yes, she's got pace, she can run off the shoulder, but she's quite happy to receive it, and she's got the strength power as well. Happy to try and shield the ball and then get out that way, and Kasparai just gets caught in the trap, coming straight back through her.
Well, it's going to be a dangerous free kick for Brighton. Olaslagers and Kirby stand over it. Keating looking to punch it out. I think she got a touch on that in the end.
Let's have a look. I think it's for a goal kick, but doesn't get a touch. But either way, the fact that she's throwing herself at that the way that she is, I don't think she's quite got her angles right there. So it's still not looking great at the back. They don't look stable, Man City.
Here is Brighton in possession again. Keating's only 21 years old. She had that breakthrough season in 2023-24. Actually won the WSL Golden Glove. It's the pass from Kilda Brown out to no man's land, but Wahabi picks up.
Could have jumped there. You could see the pass was choreographed going into Pryor, and I just think if she maybe jumped a little bit quicker, would have found herself in front of goal.
Miedemar with Madison Haley there.
I think what Miedemar took exception to was the sort of force of the tackle and the follow-through that made contact.
Pryor. Kilda Brown in that midfield position. Of course, we're yet to see a new summer signing, an exciting signing, Grace Clinton. We saw her at the beginning of the match bringing out that Euros trophy, but what can we expect to see from her when she is fit?
Well, a bite in midfield that for me we've not seen from Man City yet.
Well, Adjeman's going to go for the shot as Keating's off her line, brought back for a foul anyway.
See there, it's the force of that tackle, studs up. That's why she's herself in the book.
It's a first start for Bex Rayner for Brighton. Yet to score a goal. Joined last year from Sheffield United. Haven't seen much of her, but she's impressed, and here is Bunny Shaw. We know how she can impress, tries to cut it back, it's blocked well. by Olislagers.
The run. She'll always threaten on the back shoulder, bunny shoulders, no doubt about that. Nice little piece of skill. It's about that end product, just trying to find a teammate, and this is what City are struggling with so far this season, finding it as yet.
Well, it's a first set piece and a first corner for Manchester City that Alex Greenwood will take. Picked up by Hasegawa. And safe hands for Ndozi. Leaping the highest in the box.
Exactly what you want from your goalkeeper. To be brave, to be strong, to come and command the area, collects that. Yes, coming through bodies, takes a bit of a knock, but just gives that stability to the back line.
Miedemar giving away a foul there. And Brighton playing out quickly. Here is Kirby.
Clever again from Kirby. You see, before the free kick's even taken, arms up, in behind the midfield. Just on the back shoulder of Benet on the blind side, gets the ball in the end, and really enjoying watching Frank Kirby play. Something obviously in the WSL we've seen for years and years, running the show, and she struggled with injuries and illness. When she's at full flight, fantastic player to watch.
Haley. Adjuman. Battling with Kasparai on that right wing. They're playing with confidence, Brighton. They're playing well. And they're slipping the ball through that Manchester City back line.
That's what you have to do. There's so many teams that come to the likes of your Man Cities, your Chelseas, your Arsenals. They're already beat before they get off the bus because of that thought process to try and compete with these big teams. But Brighton are showing that they can go toe-to-toe. Really keen to come back, help a team, but a little bit too keen with that challenge.
Well, Brighton had a brilliant pre-season. They won a 8-0 away in Spain. But of course, they don't want to be the best of the rest this season. They want to be pushing in the top 4. It's about bridging that gap with the top teams. Here is Hemp on the edge of the box. And swinger in. Here is Benet. Cleared by Adjuman.
Doesn't sit down for Benet, does it? But again, she's in the right position. I like the timing of her arrival and how she cuts the box off, but just there doesn't get the right first touch.
Hemp beats her marker. Miedemar's in the box.
Again, Lauren Hemp, this is what you want to see. Engaging defenders. You see the giveaway. That's why it's the corner. A little bit fortunate there, diving around Brighton to try and clear the ball, and lucky it's only a corner.
Another corner kick for Manchester City then. Hasegawa. And Brighton do well to clear the threats, only as far as Kasparai. Kirby does well.
Yeah, she does, because initially she looks like she's been beaten, Kirby. This is where she's clever, and she uses her experience, and she makes sure, even if she doesn't get the ball, can I use my body, can I lean into Kasparai to make sure that she doesn't fully get round me and be able to drive at our goal?
She's been a regular for them, Kirsten Kasparai. Signed a contract extension until the summer of 2027 too. A modern fullback for City. And just approaching that half an hour mark, Brighton still leading the home side.
The likes of Mary Fowler to Grace Clinton to come back in, and that's the thing with City, they've still got a lot of players to come back into.
Hasegawa. Kilda Brown looking for the pass. Bene picks it up. Finds the feet of Viviana Miedemar, but a yellow shirt swarmer. And Rayner gets out.
Again, look at Fran Kirby, just hands up. Just finding that space in between the defence and behind the midfield. She's always free, she's always in space.
Here come Brighton. Bene on the break. Hemp. And Hasegawa with a mistime pass, maybe trying to find Kasparai there on that right wing. Two teams that are trying to control the possession here. Brighton playing slightly different to how they did last year. City with a new manager. And you can see there it's been fairly even. Manchester City just edging it in terms of possession, but Brighton have done well to challenge them at the Joy tonight.
Yeah, certainly they look the more dangerous in the attack as well, being the more clinical, there's no doubt about that. And growing into the game as well, you can tell, getting more confident.
Haley, Rayner. And Kilda Brown tries to escape the yellow press. It's a bit of pressure for Manchester City now, their first home game of the season at the Joy. And they need a response really after losing at Chelsea last weekend.
And to be honest, right now I think they look like they're feeling the pressure a little bit. Great credit to Brighton, the way that they've come out the traps. And as I say, now they're trying to control the game, more confident on the ball, in possession. And they certainly look the better team in this second section of the first half.
It's the Brighton management bench. Dario Vidicic came in last year. Greenwood. Kasparai just slight mistimes that touch. Bene picks it back up, and advantage is played. Hemp. Good cross into the box, and Bunny Shaw almost on the end of it. Can't quite find the target. But City with chances now, pressing Brighton.
Brilliant from Lauren Hemp. She's been the standout player for Manchester City for me down that left-hand side. It looked to be inch perfect, but maybe just half a yard too far in front of Bunny Shush. Can't quite get the angle to direct it back across goal. But Lauren Hemp there, definitely the outlet for me.
Manchester City's all-time leading goal scorer, Bunny Shaw. She scored 19 goals last year, with injury too, as Wahhabi plays it into the box. And Brighton do well again to clear. Long crossover, switch of play to Adjuman. Frank Kirby's running up, and Bennett does well to get there to clear that danger, because we know the threat that Kirby can have as she finds the ball at her feet.
Yeah, she does well, Bennett, actually, in terms of that recovery run. But I'm just thinking, can Adjuman maybe one, not let that bounce, or can she find Frank Kirby that little bit earlier? Just because for that half a second, that's the difference between finding Frank Kirby and being able to get the interception.
Another corner kick for Brighton, another set piece, which comes to nothing in the end. McLaughlin fires it back in. Kirby. Good chance for Brighton. Adjuman diving on the line. Here come Brighton again. Kirby. The danger's not over yet for City. And they win another corner kick.
What I love about this from Brighton is that they're not settling. They keep going. They want that second goal. It's a real good effort back across goal.
Like Superman.
Yeah, diving to obviously try and get back in there, but just can't quite get there. Adjuman and Rayner, but the pressure is immense from Brighton.
Well, they've certainly started the better here at the Joy, as another corner kick comes in. Headed out by Shaw. Wahhabi clears. And Brighton are full of confidence in this first half. Another mistake from City at the back. Here is Kirby. Rayner. Rayner. Wanted to find Madison Haley, I think, there, but Rayner picked up Hemp. Just over 5 minutes before the half-time whistle. What will the two managers, do you think, will be saying at half-time?
Well, from a Brighton perspective, Vidicic will be absolutely delighted with the way his team played. You know, the way that they've gone out, they've pressed, they've got the goal, they've created more chances. Yes, don't get me wrong, Man City have had chances as well, but no, they've stuck their body on the lines when needed. You know, you're not going to come to the Joy Stadium and Man City not have opportunities. But the way that they've battled and been also composed in possession, they'll be very happy with. For Man City, it's about taking chances again, same old story. They've not been clinical enough when they have got in the final third, and playing out from the back, it's been sloppy, it's been poor, and Brighton have very much preyed on that.
Pryor. Keating finds Hemp.
And that's maybe, you know, something Man City could look at a little bit more. Yes, we know they like to be possession-based and play through the thirds, but you know, if they've created that opportunity where they've pulled Brighton onto them because Brighton are getting joy, if there is that space in behind, then hit it, because you've got a goalkeeper in Keaton that can play those balls, and obviously pace up front as well.
Instead, they look to play out from the back for the majority of this game. Minami. Chankovic into Kirby. Bene does well again. She's been a lively spark for Manchester City in this half, despite a goal against them. So her first start in a City shirt. Rule. Haley just overpowers slightly on that ball.
It's the right idea though, and it's something that obviously slightly different formation with Chelsea, but they work to good effect in terms of overloading on that right-hand side and outnumbering in the wide areas, and it's something that Man City struggled with against Chelsea.
This press is paying off for Brighton. They're really causing City to panic. Looking well organised, and the question is whether they can hold on in the second half. As Hemp finds a good through ball for Miedema, and Rule does well to clear in the box.
That's the right decision. Looked to me, as she was trying to close that down, Miedema, it just comes back off her. I feel like everything's against you when you're losing, you're 1-0 down, trying to get back into the game.
Here's Hemp, then Kilda Brown. Wahabi. Hemp again. Greenwood decides to create a chance. And it's another goal kick for Brighton, coming off Kasparai there.
Something we've probably not seen quite enough today from Alex Greenwood. We know she's got that wonderful left foot expertise in that delivery. She's not been able to get forward as much as she would like, and obviously slightly different as well at centre-back, but normally that doesn't stop her because Man City possess so much of the ball, but that's credit to Brighton, the way that they've pressed.
And Duzzy with the goal kick. Closing in on half-time in these last stages of the first half. And it's a free kick for Manchester City. Simon's giving that away for Brighton. As City look for the equaliser before they head down the tunnel for half-time. Hasegawa to stand over it. Alex Greenwood. Pryor with the header across the face of goal.
There's an offside in there somewhere, but it was the right idea from Pryor. That's what you've got to do in those positions. Head it back across, hope that someone's there. Bunny Shaw gets caught underneath it, so she can't nod it in. As we say, there's an offside anyway, but it's the right idea from Pryor.
Mentality-wise, how important is an equaliser just before the break?
Oh, it could be massive, because it's not just confidence for Manchester City, but also takes the wind out of the sails of Brighton.
Adjumang. Kilda Brown pounces on that loose ball, and here is Benet. Advantage waved on by the referee, and there will be just 1 minute of added time in this first half. Benet out to Miedemar. And Miedemar gets away down that left-hand side. Skimming the face of goal. What a chance for Manchester City to level just before the break.
Yeah, I think it's a really good save as well, but sumptuous by Manchester City. In terms of, look, the little tricks, the flicks, played on 1 and 2 touch. It's getting behind Brighton quickly. Not sure if this is a cross-come shot. Also, it takes a little bit of a deflection, actually. You'll see it on this angle. Off the defender on the way through, so makes that save from the goalkeeper even better.
Excellent save by Ndozi. She's had a good first 2 games. Clean sheet in the first one, her second appearance. City will take this corner kick with Alex Greenwood. We've played the added minute in this first half. This could be the last chance. And again, it's safe hands for the goalkeeper, and that is the half-time whistle. And at the break, it's Brighton with the advantage. Frank Kirby the difference in the early stages. A rebounded strike in after Adjumang had her first go. But Frank Kirby, you can always rely. The experience she's got in the WSL. And at the break, it's Manchester City 0, Brighton 1. So as we look to get back underway here in the second half, the Brighton fans in full spirit at the break. They've made the long way up to Manchester, and a substitution at the break, and it's going to be Frank Kirby, the goal scorer, to come off at the break, and Nadine Nordum is on. Yet to score for Brighton, nor from Ajax. Was a regular for Ajax. She's making, or looking to break into this Brighton team. And she's on for Frank Kirby, so a tactical decision, Courtney, from Vidicic at the break.
I mean, it could be, but I thought Frank Kirby was playing really well. So, you know, that makes me inclined to think it's potentially a little bit of a knock. We didn't see anything. And, you know, we've mentioned the amount of career that Fran's missed with injury, so we hope it's nothing too serious if it is to be that. But, yeah, it remains to be seen. It'll be interesting to, we'll hear from the managers after and see what that decision was all about.
She was the difference in the first half, with the only goal of the game so far. Brighton leading Manchester City at the Joy by a 1-0. And Frank Kirby is off. And Nadine Nordum is on for Brighton. As City look for a response in this second half. Hasegawa. Kasparai. Here is City then again. Good cross into the box. Not quite finding the feet of a blue shirt from Benet.
Similar to in the first half in terms of not an opportunity, but the way that she does the hard bit, the way that she manipulates the ball, beats the defender. And then that's about then at that moment your composure to find a teammate or to keep the ball, to get to the byline, to make the cross from there. But it's just that decision making that with their end product that needs to be a little bit better from her at the moment.
Well, City have had 5 shots in this game. They had 17 shots against Chelsea last time out, and maybe if they could improve their finishing maybe slightly, they may have caused an upset last weekend. They'll definitely want to be back on the front foot in this game at home, though.
I think I was at that game, and quite a few of those shots were from range, frustrated shots maybe. And yes, they've got players with tremendous ability that can score wonder goals from outside the box, but you want to be creating those opportunities in the box.
Here is Benet again then. Leaves it for Kasparai to dink in. Here is Miedema. Wide again from the Dutch international. And she don't think she can believe it herself.
No, scuffs it. Benet again, industrious, doing well, finds an end product that time to the overlap of Kasparai. Just completely scuffs it, and yes, I know, because there's so many defenders in front of her and she's trying to thread the needle, find the gap to put it in the back of the net, but sometimes you're better off just putting your foot through that. Although, does that take a little bit of a deflection maybe? It looked like it there.
Off Miname maybe. But City in possession again. Lauren Hemp with a scuffed shot or pass there. As their new manager there, Jeglerts, tries to encourage his team to get back on the front foot in this second half. McLaughlin with the throw-in. Haley leaves it for Reina, and Hasegawa just picks it out. Here is Agyemang, using her strengths well there. Alice Lagers. Here is Agyemang again. Greenwood with strong defensive tackles there in the box.
She does well there, Greenwood, because she's going to know, obviously, as it is our England teammate, all the skills that Agyemang possesses. And Alex Greenwood is a wonderful defender, but not blessed with loads of pace. But this is where she shows her experience. She's clever. She doesn't get caught in a foot race with Agyemang.
Miedema shoving off Shankovic there. Gets round 2-3 players inside the box, takes a deflection. And again, she looks lively in this second half. She looks like she wants to get her foot through one of these shots.
And you know what, there's an element as well. There's an element of anger in there because she's frustrated, and sometimes she is the type of player that you see when she's frustrated, when she's angry, actually you get the best out of her. And yeah, it's not a sight you want to see as a Brighton defender, I don't think.
Don't want to see Viviana Miedema charging at you in the box. As Hasegawa takes this corner kick for City. Overshed, Bunny Shaw heads it back in. And there is Ndozi to claim again for Brighton.
I've been impressed with her, you know. I've liked the way that she's always on the front foot, commanding the area. She's confident, and then that emanates through the team as well.
Shaw. Wahabi out to Hemp, looks for the overrun maybe, she goes herself, chops it into the box, and Shaw heads it over the bar. City playing better though in the first stages of this second half.
Yeah, much better. She just gets caught a little bit underneath this one, I think. Bunny Shaw, you want her to rise high, good connection, and head that back across the goal. And yes, it comes back across, but not with any great purpose. There's maybe just a little bit of a nudge in the back, actually, that's clever defending just to put her off balance.
There is Jeglerts, Manchester City's new manager. And Hemp leaves it for a throw-in. City have won 4 of their last 5 games against Brighton and have a dominant record against them. But are chasing the results tonight. There is Simons. Hemp. yellow shirts constantly closing down those attacks that City tried to make. Here is Haley, out to Nordum. Brighton win the throw-in. Rule with a good spin, looks to find the run of Nordum, picked out. Wahhabi, Hemp. Brighton again, it's being played in midfield, this game.
Yeah, and as good as Brighton have played, I think they need that second goal. Man City, there's no doubt they aren't at their best yet, but they've got the ability to find the back of the net because of the calibre of players they've got on the pitch. I just feel like City are just starting to try at least and take control of this game more so than they did in the first half.
They know they've got the quality, Manchester City. Whether it can be put into action, put into a result. As Rule passes back to Miname. Here is Bene, picks out that long pass brilliantly. Looks to find Shaw, closed down again.
She's frustrated with herself, Bene, and I know it's something probably really small and she's still a young player, but she doesn't give in the right pass, which should be an easy pass, the weight of pass, and then it's like the arms go down, she crouches down, and just that frustration. But she needs to switch her head on to win the ball back quickly rather than be frustrated with herself, and it will come in time. But they're just the little things that at this level you have to do better.
Here is McLaughlin. Offside flag goes up, but she's insistent that she was on. Hasegawa. One back by Brighton. It's very end-to-end. Ajimang. As Brighton look for a cushion in this game. Shankovic.
You can tell though, and this is nothing against Nordum, they have lost that little bit of quality without Fran Kirby on the pitch.
Haley shoots herself blind to the goal. She shakes her head, disappointed with the effort, goes well over the bar.
Yeah, it's always going to be a difficult one. Back to goal, you're trying to turn. You've got defenders in your way, edge of the box as well. It's very, very difficult skill.
Kasparai plays into Bunny Shaw. Miedema's in the box. She goes herself for the shot, saved initially by Ndozi, and eventually she does collect it.
The thing is there, Bunny Shaw comes out from the number 9 position. Now, yes, Miedema's backing off the edge of the box. There's Lauren Hemp, but there needs to be someone else in there to recognise when Bunny Shaw goes out wide, the extra midfielder, maybe even push Miedema on, someone else locks off the edge of the box.
Bene again does well. Miedema off to Shaw on this right-hand side. Haley clears only as far as Wahhabi. Hemp. Wahhabi with the cross, looks to find the head of Bunny Shaw. And there is the equaliser for Manchester City, and it was coming pressure on pressure. And Bunny Shaw with the header into the back of the net. And all of a sudden, it's game on again. It's Manchester City 1, Brighton 1.
It was coming. Put Brighton under such immense pressure. And then this ball in. It's inviting, it's just waiting for someone to go and attack it, which Bunny Shaw certainly does. There's only so many opportunities you can give this calibre of player. Yes, they've missed a lot of opportunities, but finally one's got in the back of the net. But got to admit, I think the goalkeeper can do better here.
Gets a touch to it, and Dozy almost looked like a slow motion kind of leap header into the air. And Bunny Shaw opens her account for the season as they look to come again. Bene on that right wing. And it's all level. Shaw again in the box. What can she do this time? Still danger.
She's got the bit between her teeth now. She's that type of player. She wants to pull everyone else up with her.
And if Shaw doesn't get to it, Hemp is lurking there. Ready for the rebounds. Bunny Shaw with the equalizer for Manchester City. Joint WSL Golden Boot winner last year. I'm sure she'll want that all to herself this year, though.
Especially when you think spent quite a period out with injury as well. So to still get that accolade is testament to her and her goal-scoring ability.
Another corner kick for City. And Kilda Brown. Here she comes again, Bunny Shaw. Into Hemp. And that time, easy for the Brighton keeper to make the save. Well, that's McLaughlin down for Brighton, holding her left leg there. Looks to be in some pain.
Not good, is it? Potentially looks to be the groin. I don't know whether it's stretching here or just maybe just gets caught up, twisted and turning. You see straight away in the area of that left groin, and that's even more worrying when it's not an impact or making a challenge. It's never a good sign for a player.
Well, Rachel McLaughlin down as the two sets of teams have a drinks break in the second half, all level, thanks to that strike from Bunny Shaw a few moments ago. And all of a sudden, this game could be turned on its head if Brighton lose concentration. She's been with City a number of years now, implemented her style and presence onto this team, leading their line. And a few substitutions for Brighton then. So Rachel McLaughlin, down injured, will come off. And Ori is going to come on. And Bex Rayner on her first start for Brighton. Her time is over. And Seke is on.
Substitution for City Girl. Getting on tonight with the Blues,
A couple of substitutions for Manchester City too. Fagino is back, and Carolyn is back too from injury. Good depth on that Manchester City bench. Real quality for quality coming on for City as Fagino makes her presence known already. Here is Carolyn, lively spark. The Brazilian international won the Copa America in the summer. Hemp, as City look for the second. Blankilda Brown has another go, and Seke with a header off the line.
Let's have a look at this. I'm not sure. Well, it doesn't go in the back of the net. First of all, it's Bunny Shaw just competing, but Blankilda Brown making sure she's there, backing things up. Army there does so well, just thinking worst case scenario, starting to converge back onto a line and makes a goal-saving header.
Two good chances for Laura Blankilda Brown there, but maybe some slight distress for the new Brighton keeper, Ndozi. She's had a good game.
Yeah, she has. I think Bunny Shaw's down as well with the head injury, and it's one of those for Blankilda Brown. I understand on the first one, you think there's probably defenders on rushing you. You want to get your shot away straight away, but I think she had a little bit more time than she thought.
Well, she has been the difference. She did score the equalizer, flying into that 6-yard box. Too powerful for the keeper, and gets City back into this game at home. And with a cool celebration to go alongside it too.
Yeah, I think the more I look at it, yes, wonderful diving header. I've still got to question the goalkeeper there. I think she could have done a lot better.
City with another chance. Hasegawa, headed out by Brighton. Seke charges onto this. And Kasparai does well with her strength to win that back. So a few substitutions for either team, looking to add a bit of life, a bit of spark into this game in the final stages. Looking to find a winner.
Bunny Shaw desperate to get back on the pitch, but I think that's probably obviously the difference between these two teams, that the depth that Man City have shown to bring on a certain calibre of player from the bench. I don't think Brighton can quite match that. They're in a different place in their journey, but obviously still on equal terms. That's the most important thing.
Seke headed away by Kasparai. Kiko Seke, of course, scored a hat-trick on her Brighton debut last year, the first player to do that. And went on to score 3 more last season.
It's hard, isn't it? You have such a great first game, and then in terms of then that consistency throughout the season didn't maybe quite live up to that in terms of the goal scoring. So we'll want to have a more consistent season in front of goal. There's no doubt about that.
Pryor. Greenwood into the path of Lauren Hemp. Not even Lauren Hemp isn't quick enough for that one, though.
I don't mind that, though. As I mentioned it in the first half, if there's an opportunity to maybe go and nap in after playing through the thirds and then going further forward to try and high press like we have seen Brighton do, then that ball is on. It's just then about Obviously making sure that you execute it in the right way.
Out to Ori. Fresh on as a substitute. Nordum. And shot too far by Simons. New captain this season. Appointed in the summer for Brighton.
A little bit lucky there, don't they, Brighton? Good numbers up City, but got out of that well.
It's a good cross from Madison Haley, and what can Seke do here? Looks to go for the shot herself and forces Keating to make that save. Get down low to her right.
It's hit well by Seke. And yeah, good save by Keating, but what I will say is if your keeper gets caught at the near post there, I think you're really disappointed. So it's a good save by Kiara Keating, but certainly one you'd be expecting her to make.
Well, Seke's certainly been a lot of quality in the first few minutes she's been on the pitch, and they've won themselves a corner, Brighton. Bonnie Shaw gets on the end of that, clears it. Lauren Hemp boots it out.
They're still finding opportunities here and there, Brighton. No doubt that Man City have looked a lot better in this second half, but they're still finding ways forward, Brighton.
Ajimang. Nordum. Rule. Out to Ori. Here is a good chance for Brighton, deflected off of Pryor. But Nordum in heaps of space there.
And I think if Nordum hits this with more venom, despite the deflection, it still goes in. It probably wrong foots Kiara Keating. Just, you see, just doesn't quite get the contact on it.
The momentum swinging from one end to the other in this game. Brighton striking first, but City finding that equalizer in the second half as Seke is released down the left-hand side. But a miscommunication from the Brighton pair. Here is Seke again. And the offside flag will be raised.
Yeah, it looked to be on first viewing. Also telling with all the defenders arms up straight away, but nonetheless, good move.
Greenwood. Back to Keating. And Pryor. Casper Ryan now. Carolyn. Gets away, does really well. Still with a chance for City, and eventually dispossessed, and they'll win a corner kick.
She's got that injection of pace, hasn't she? And then it's more similar in terms of the flanks with Lauren Hemp and Caroline wanting to drive, wanting to run at players, whereas obviously Miedemar's a different type of footballer.
Here is Caroline again, dances around her defence and is placed over the bar by Michelle Ajimang. Been slightly quieter in this second half.
And I think that's as well obviously down to City playing better, but I mentioned that quality from Frank Kirby in the middle of the park. She's definitely not had the same type of service Michelle Ajimang in this second half.
Well, you can see the defensive stats there in this game. Manchester City on top in terms of the tackles they've won, but it's been an end-to-end game. Wahhabi, Greenwood.
Missed the trick there, Wahhabi. If you play that quicker, Brighton players are still too busy remonstrating with the referee, thinking it should have been their throw-in.
Wahhabi again into Lauren Hemp. Shaw and Carolyn into the box. Hasegawa is there, free. Chooses Fujino on the edge. Here's Hasegawa, and a chance for Manchester City, and she does take it. And it's too easy for the home side, really. And Yui Hasegawa opens her account this season.
And this is wonderful play on the edge of the box. Short and sharp. The Brighton defenders are asking for offside. I think she's really clever. I think you just see that little moment. She looks over her back shoulder, opens her body out, doesn't actually run forward too quickly, just changes the angle of her body. And then at this point as well, look at this for a finish. Opens the hips out, in the side netting. And she's normally the metronome, the unsung hero, but she's on the score sheet tonight.
Well, she controls that midfield, but occasionally she does find herself on the score sheet. Yui Hasegawa, could that be the winner for Manchester City? That's just her third goal for the Citizens in her time. She started every WSL game in the last 2 seasons.
I think Brighton really, unfortunately for them, only got themselves to blame. They definitely didn't come out with the same sort of vigour, and yes, some of that's down to Manchester City, but definitely the second half performance hasn't matched the first. And players of so much quality for Manchester City on the pitch, you have to be on it from minute one, and it's just dropped off in the second half from a Brighton perspective.
Pryor. Well, they started well, Brighton. Haven't quite kept up that momentum, that pace that they had. Is that the difference with the top 4 teams?
Yeah, it's that little bit of quality. Also mentality to keep that going, to think, actually, we've gone a goal ahead, we can go and get a second, and not sit back and try and hold out for something. And also, it's the fitness levels as well when you get into these points in the game, and the depth off the bench.
Shot from Simons from range. Keating punching the chance away. Ori. Simons being tackled there by Fujino, who gives away that foul.
Not for me, that. I think Fujino does really well. Wins the ball. I don't think that's a foul.
Here is Seke. Good cross into the box. No one is there for Brighton. There's Haley chasing too late. Haley. Shankovic. Haley again. Tries to get away from Kirsten Kasparai, who does really well to get the block in.
I think she's done well tonight, actually, Kasparai. So much energy. Such an engine on her, and you have to be that modern-day fullback now, but always takes that defensive element seriously as well as going forward and adding to the attack.
Well, Brighton looking to level things, to get something on the board, and it's straight to the hands of Kiara Keating.
I think quite mature there, quite clever. City players flooding forward, want to play on the counter-attack, but actually, do you need to at that moment in time? No, and you can then calm it down and then set your team on the attack.
Carolyn, as City look to be in some space here, is Kasparai on the far side. Hasegawa finds the ball from Blenkilde Brown. And City just slowing down the tempo now, slowing down this game. They know they're in control heading into the final 10 minutes. Looking for their first win of the season. First home game, first home win of the season. Hasegawa. Greenwood. There is Fagino. Darts down and finds Lauren Hemp. Cross in, Bunny Shaw with a chance. Carolyn to chase, but she gives the thumbs up. She likes that ball from Alex Greenwood.
It's the right idea, and Alex is frustrated because she knows she's got that in her locker.
And this is an exciting substitution for Brighton. So Madison Haley comes off, but Rosa Kafaji is on for her first minutes in a Brighton shirt, on loan from Arsenal. She's an exciting young player, 22 years old. She has scored for her parent club in an Arsenal shirt, and she's looking to get on the score sheet in a Brighton, maybe find the equalizer today. But she looks promising, Rosa Kafaji.
Yeah, she does. We were talking before the game, weren't we, saying, you know, for whatever reason it hasn't worked out for her yet at Arsenal, but exciting young player that we both like to watch. What a touch that is, by the way, from Hasegawa. When she's playing well, when she's at the heart of everything, and City normally play well.
As you say, an unsung hero, but she's got something on the ball tonight. She might have found the winner for City. Here is Lauren Hemp. And Ndozi picks it out on the line. Nordum. Loose pass from Rule. Shaw pounces on the opportunity. Flays to Carolyn. Shirts back for Brighton now, though. And they can't create anything worthwhile from the chance. Here is Nordum to find who's just come onto the pitch. What can she do for the Seagulls? Finds Seke. And Greenwood clears. A vital clearance for City there.
Initially look outnumbered, don't they, by the long ball, Manchester City, but do just about enough to get back into shape. And see Greenwood there, as the captain does, ordering everyone about, showing all that experience.
You can see the Brighton fans there behind, and there's going to be another substitution for Manchester City. So Yui Hasegawa comes off, and Naomi Lazel replaces. Yet to feature this season, Lazel. She's on for her first minutes this season in a City shirt. Signed last year from Bristol City. Well, Hemp is down there. Clash with rule. And it looks to be a yellow card. For the 22-year-old. Keating. Hasegawa dispossessed there by Kafaji. Wants to find Seike. And Lazer with fresh legs picks it out. Advantage played for Brighton. Simons. Rule. Keating pressured again by that Brighton press. Always looks slightly nervous, slightly nervy when there's a Brighton player charging at her.
Yeah, but still don't look overly comfortable, do they, Manchester City, playing out from the back when they're pressed well, and they have pressed them well, Brighton, at times. You can just see now the legs are starting to run out, and they've just got that half a yard, Manchester City. Ability to play with a little bit more freedom, but still not total freedom.
Here is Seike. Pass back to the keeper, it's deflected only as far as Michelle Adjumang. And over the bar it goes.
Well, it's the right idea from Keating in terms of trying to get rid, but you see, it's almost like a side foot, and I think it's because of the angle from her teammate Lazel. The pass back doesn't help her. It needs to be a little bit wider so she can really stick her foot through it out on an angle.
Well, gets away with one there, Kiara Keating. As we head into the final few minutes of this game, and there looks to be another substitution for Brighton. Carla Camacho will come on for the captain, Maisie Simons. Another new signing for Brighton, Carla Camacho, 20 years old. As Lauren Hemp chases this ball, gets the better, tries the chip. And it's too powerful in the end.
Yeah, I understand why she wants to take this one early, because you can see that the goalkeeper's off the line. But equally, the pace that she's got, I think she can afford to take another touch towards goal and just make the angle a little bit easier for herself.
Hasegawa, Carolyn chases. Wins the throw-in. 2 minutes to go in this game. Brighton looking for that equalizer after scoring first. Here is Hemp. Camacho. Ori clears to Seke. There is Gafaji. As Brighton break on the counter now. Quick feet from the Arsenal loanee. And Olis Lagers keeps it in. Or does she?
Which is a late one by Ajimang, protesting her innocence. The referee, she's frustrated, wants to try and get her team back in the game. And that's the conversation that's being had, but it looks all in good faith.
Michelle Ajman there. As we head into extra time in this game. So 6 minutes of added time for Brighton to find something in the closing stages. And will it be England's star, Michelle Ajman, to rescue a point? Brighton play it fast into Seke. Looks to beat Lazel. Nordum can't get anything on the end of it. Still pushing.
Yeah, it's a shame as well because it's clever to take the quick free kick. Catch City napping.
Rule. Well, Courtney, we'll get your Barclays player of the match. Who has impressed you the most today?
Yeah, I think it's this player here, Kirsten Kasperite. She's been brilliant on and off the ball. So much endeavour in the way that she's used that energy to get up into the attack, but also the defensive quality. She's been a bit of an unsung hero tonight.
And of course, Manchester City fans will be pleased to know that she signed a contract extension recently into the summer of 2027 to keep her at Manchester City. A modern-day fullback, and has certainly impressed tonight. And the question is, can City hold on to this lead in the final 4 minutes of added time? Carolyn. Hemp. In that central role now. And wins the foul.
She looked like she was trying to fashion half a yard to get the shot off on the ball. Lauren Hemp do. And this is the problem. Defenders a lot of the time have to come through her to get anywhere near the ball because she's got that much quality and pace.
And City have the chance to extend their lead.
Hit the bar, didn't she, Alex Greenwood, from a very, very similar position against Chelsea.
She looks to eye up the goal, I reckon. Looking past the wall. And it will be Greenwood to strike this. Loose from Ndozi, but eventually does smother it and looks to have injured herself in the process. She slaps the ground.
She looks in trouble, doesn't she? And unfortunately, that's the life of a goalkeeper. You're expecting Greenwood to bend this in the opposite corner, high in the top right-hand corner as you look at the goal, but she doesn't. Elects to go low, try and whip it round the wall. Is it Pryor that, yeah, running in, trying to get the second phase, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's no malice in it. It's just the fact that they're coming together. And the goalkeeper comes off worse, but looks to be okay now.
Oh, she's up on her feet, ready to go. She's taken a few knocks tonight, though. To be in some pain a few times. Good effort from Alex Greenwood, though. Here is Carolyn with the pace. Off to Kasparai. Dink into the box. It got a deflection there.
Watching players do that, though, you can tell they're full of confidence when they knock it one way, run past the defender and collect the ball the other side. It's poetry in motion.
It's okay. Ori. For Gino. Switch of play to Carolyn on the far sides. But here come Brighton in the final minute. Kafaji goes from range and Keating clears.
Oh, why not? She's got the ability, struck it really well. You see it moves in the air. Kiara Keating just has to pat it down.
Well, we haven't seen many minutes in this league of Rosa Kafaji, but we know she's got quality. Keating. Carolyn heads it on. Here is Brighton in what might be the last chance of the game and is smothered by Lauren Hemp. And Ori can't keep it in.
Tonight's player of the match is our debutant, number 24, Iman Bene.
Sure. Kafaji dispossessing. And now Brighton have a chance. Well, there is the full-time whistle at the Joy Stadium, and Manchester City do get the job done. A first home win of the season, exactly the response that Andre Yegelertz would have wanted after that defeat at Chelsea. Frank Kirby struck first for Brighton, but a big second half for City. Bunny Shaw and Yui Hasegawa there, the difference. And City remind everyone why they are genuine title contenders this year, and it's finished at the Joy Stadium. Manchester City 2, Brighton and Hove Albion 1.
Congratulations to our 3 winners from the half-time calendar round.